How we doing, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Just what have your impressions been of Bradley Weaver and Eric O'Neill and kind of the potential that they bring to this unit?
Excited to have both of them. I think they're both really good people, first and foremost. We do a pretty diligent job with every kid that we bring to our program. And the biggest thing and attribute those guys bring to the table is how coachable they are. They're extremely coachable, did a great job all winter. Now in the spring, coming to work every day, chopping every moment, building off of each other. So we're excited. They know that we have a lot of work to do, right? And I just love the way they come to work every day. So
those guys were highly productive at the G5 level. Do you see things from them in these first few practices that they can take that production and bring it to the Big Ten?
Yeah, they are who we thought they were, right? Like, the first thing we noticed is how competitive they are when they got here. And then out on the field, everything that we saw on tape, we see in practice. And they know there's still things to clean up. We've talked individually, we've talked as a unit about those things, and so they just come out every day and they're willing to work. So it's been good.
A big thing that's being highlighted for the NFL draft is Keontae Hamilton. How have you liked his development into that role now?
I'm so excited for Keontae. Keontae, you talk about sacrifice, you talk about family. You know, Keontae, through need, had to play multiple positions last year on the front, and he didn't flinch. He knew his job. He chopped his job. And I think he's going to play in the NFL for a long time. I think whoever gives him a shot, I think he's going to kind of make them look like the smartest man in the room. So super excited for Keontae.
You've got three position coaches now focused on the defensive line, the tackles and the ends. What does that allow you guys to do, and how do you guys all work together to coach up that group?
Yeah, we call it D-line brain trust. You got myself, you got Coach Campani, you got Coach Noonan, who's been in this program for a long time, and then we also have Luke Carazola, who works closely with the D-line as our assistant D-line coach. Coach Noonan's somebody that helped me get acclimated here when I joined. He's obviously been on the staff, knows the way we do things. In this climate, you got to develop your kids as fast as possible, right? And so with the brain trust we have, each kid gets individualized coaching. There's always a coach available to watch film, do extra study, get individualized teaching after practice. And the cohesion that we have because of just the relationships that were already in place has been good. So excited about it.
Got a good mixture of returners and also transfers. What do you tell those kids like this early into the season to get them on the same page?
Like I said, when I referenced Eric and Brad, extremely coachable group, and that's also with Daryl and Doug, right? The four newcomers that have played that we got out of the portal, just good people, right? And then we got four freshman newcomers that are just following the way. So that's made the process kind of a little easier. But again, it's just a hardworking group that are extremely coachable. So.
You and Coach Camp are kind of the senior members of the defensive staff now, right? With
new crazy staff.
Co-defensive coordinators.
Yep.
Just how has that assimilation process been, and understanding their system, their scheme, and how do you go about that process?
Yeah, right away when I got to sit down with Rob and Sparbs, they did a great job painting a picture of their vision going forward. And I was grateful to be a part of that vision. And we worked hand in hand every day to build this thing the right way and hold our kids to the standard that Coach Shiano set, which ultimately they set, and everything's vertical alignment. So it's been pretty smooth. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do, but we're all hands on deck every day, coming in the staff, locking arms, and going to work together. So it's been good.
What would you say you've learned now here, your last couple of years here at Rutgers?
Honestly, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Coach Shiano in terms of just how a program is run. I've learned a lot from Coach Harris-Simiak, now from Coach Smith and Coach Sparbs. I've learned a lot from the players, right? Just to come and compete every week at this level, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of things to go the right way. It takes a lot of people willing to work and take direction and follow up and be diligent in the process. So I've just learned day-to-day chopping the moment like we talk about. It's been pretty good.
One of the toughest positions to recruit in college football is interior defensive linemen. What have you seen from you've got a couple new additions that have come in through the portal and some new players. What have you seen from a few of those guys in particular?
Yeah, like I said, very excited, man. Doug and Daryl are our two interior guys that we took out of the portal. And, Daryl's a younger guy. Doug's more of an older guy that's kind of been through his own journey. Both guys, though, work extremely hard. They're extremely violent. They're tough. They both have natural leverage and have a great understanding of just the instincts of defensive line play. And so it makes it fun to coach them. They're super, super excited to get to work. They know what it takes. they're accepting the challenge of playing in the Big Ten, and so I'm looking forward to continuing to work with them. It's been good.
You got a couple returners on the defensive line too. How do they sort of fit into the equation with all that you've added to that room?
Yeah, we got a great mix of experience and youth, right? When we talk about the newcomers, both old and young, we talk about the returners. Guys like Jay Walk, guys like Keyshawn Griffin, guys like Zaire Angoy, who's having a really good spring and winter semester. So excited to put the pieces together. But ultimately, it's about coming to work every day, chopping and competing, and kind of seeing where we're at the end of the day. So it's fun.
You listed a lot of guys there. How do you feel about the depth and the ability to rotate on this defensive line? How many guys do you feel comfortable, throwing out in a game, knowing they can kind of keep the level you guys want to play at?
Yeah, well, we Coach Shiano, myself, Coach Smith, Coach Spar, we all believe in we want to be able to rotate guys and keep guys fresh, right? But you got to develop them, right? So we got to get the young guys up to par. We got to get the older guys doing things the way that we want to do them defensively. And but ultimately, we want to rotate as many guys that we have that we know can go in there and keep the standard high. So that looks a little different every year. So we'll see what that looks like here after spring ball going into summer. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, guys.